Shocking memory technique that will change your life? What if I told you that there is a way to remember things almost effortlessly? You could memorize a deck of cards in minutes, recall hundreds of facts with ease, or even ace an exam with little stress using a technique that has been around for thousands of years. In this video, I'm going to show you a memory technique so powerful it's been used by memory champions and top performers around the world. You might not believe how simple it is, but it can completely change the way you think about your memory. Briefly mention the method. Today, we're diving deep into a method that is going to make your mind as sharp as a sword, and I promise it's not what you think. 2. The struggles of modern memory. Discuss common memory struggles. Let's face it, how many times have you forgotten where you placed your keys or struggled to remember a friend's phone number? Memory isn't always reliable, especially with the constant distractions of modern life. It's the myth of bad memory. We often think we're just bad at remembering things, but that's not the case. It's not about having a bad memory, but about not using the right techniques to access our brain's full potential. The power of the brain. Your brain is more powerful than you realize. Neuroscientists have shown that memory can be dramatically improved using specific techniques. It's like training a muscle. You just need the right exercises. 3. The shocking memory technique. The method of loci. Introduction to the method of loci. This is the technique that changed everything for me. It's called the method of loci. It sounds fancy, but it's actually based on something you've been doing your whole life without even knowing it. Visualizing places you know well. The method of loci is based on the idea of a memory palace. Imagine you're walking through your house. You place pieces of information at specific locations in the house. Your keys on the kitchen table, your phone by the couch, your wallet on the door handle. In this technique, you use a familiar environment, a house, a route you walk every day, or any place that is easy for you to visualize, and you store the things you want to remember in these locations. When you need to recall the information, you simply walk through the house in your mind. Here's why it works. Your brain is incredibly good at remembering spatial relationships. It remembers places better than abstract information. It's even more powerful when you add strong, emotional, or vivid images. This taps into the brain's natural ability to remember spaces and sensory details, which is why you can often remember a route or location with great precision. When you turn that into a memory system, you're setting yourself up for success. Let's say you need to memorize a grocery list: milk, eggs, bread, apples, and cheese. Picture yourself walking through your home. You place the milk on your front doorstep, the eggs in the hallway, the bread on your living room couch, apples in your kitchen sink, and cheese on your bed. When you need to recall the list, just imagine walking through your house again. You'll see the milk at the doorstep, the eggs in the hall, and so on. It's like taking a mental stroll through your house, but with all the items you need to remember along the way. For why this technique works? Memory and visualization. Your brain isn't as good at remembering random, it's disconnected facts, but it excels at remembering visual and spatial information. The method of loci taps directly into these natural strengths. The role of emotion, adding vivid, sometimes even exaggerated images, makes the memory stick even more. Imagine placing a giant dancing egg in your hallway or a loaf of bread that sings. The more unusual or emotional the image, the better it sticks. Neuroscientific backing. Studies have shown that the brain activates similar regions when recalling locations as it does when navigating those spaces in real life. It's like your brain is visiting places in your memory. This makes recall quicker and more accurate. Boosts long-term retention. Another key point is that the method of loci helps with long-term memory. When you store information in a mental palace, it's not just a short-term trick, it's a way to store and retrieve information effectively over time. -5. Real-world examples of the method of loci in action. Memory champions. One of the most famous users of this technique is Dominic O'Brien, an 8-time world memory champion. He uses the method of loci to memorize entire decks of cards, lists of hundreds of words, and even sequences of random numbers. He's trained his mind to be an amazing memory machine. This method isn't new. In fact, it dates back to ancient Greece. The great orators would use it to memorize speeches. Cicero, one of Rome's greatest orators, was known to use a form of the method of loci to help him remember his powerful addresses. I personally started using this technique to memorize lists and even study for exams. At first, it felt a bit weird, but after just a few weeks, I could memorize pages of information without breaking a sweat. The results were shocking. 6. How you can start using this technique today. Step-by-step guide. 1. Choose a place you know well, your house, a route you walk often, or even a park you visit regularly. 2. Pick the information you want to memorize. 3. Visualize placing each item at a specific location in your memory palace. 4. When it's time to recall the information, mentally walk through your space and grab the items you stored. Tips for success. Start with something simpler, shopping list or a few facts for a quiz. Use vivid, strange, or funny images to make the memories more memorable. Practice often like any skill. Memory improves the more you use it. This technique is truly a game changer. Once you start using it, you'll find that remembering things becomes second nature. You can memorize speeches, lists, names, and even entire books. All it takes is some practice and creativity. Give the method of loci a try for yourself. I'm confident that if you stick with it, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can remember and recall things in your everyday life. And remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get. So why not start today? If you found this technique helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more brain-boosting content. Let me know in the comments how it worked for you.